X-Men First Class was released in 2011 and was directed by Matthew Vaughn. The film stars James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence and Kevin Bacon, among a plethora of other actors and actresses, as we know. Now, this film is a prequel to the original trilogy of X-Men films, with some discrepancies and some continuity issues, because in the first X-Men movie, Charles Xavier states that Cyclops, Storm and Jean Grey were some of his first students, and that's not true, really, here. Now, technically, I suppose you could say that he doesn't have the school at this point, so maybe that's technically true, but I don't know. It just seems a little inconsistent. But apart from that, the story is actually quite good, following mainly around Magneto, where it replays over his childhood, where he was in Auschwitz and being taken by the Nazis and being separated from his parents. And then Klaus Schmidt, who is also known as Sebastian Shaw, played by Kevin Bacon, is also a mutant who wants to basically... He wants what Magneto wants, essentially, is the mutants to rule over the world. And so he basically takes young Eric Lancashire, Magneto, under his wing and molds him into the maniac that he becomes, but through very devious means. So then Magneto wants revenge on Shaw, and then obviously the government wants Shaw, and because mutants are still unknown, they then want Charles Xavier to come along to help them, and then they build their X-Men, where at the time they're called G-Men, and they go off to try and stop Shaw from getting involved in the whole Cuban Missile Crisis, which they implemented. Now, the story is good, but it could have been great. It could have been better. It feels very, I don't know, low-key and just... I don't know, it just feels like it's missing something. Also, the choice of mutants in the film is very odd. I get, obviously, Charles Xavier you need, Magneto you need. I don't know why they wanted to put Mystique in and then make her a adoptive sister of Charles Xavier, because that's never mentioned at all in the previous 3 X-Men movies. So, that's really odd. And then you have Beast, which, yeah, cool. Beast is there. I think Beast is great. Azazel is absolutely awesome. You know, the old Red Nightcrawler dude, he kicks absolute ass. I don't think I mentioned this in the other X-Men movie reviews, but although the Mystique design in this on Jennifer Lawrence is exactly the same as it was for Rebecca Romijn Stamos in the original trilogy, I hate the design. I don't know why they went with completely naked, nippleless blue Mystique. If you check out the design of Mystique online, I think actually I'm going to put a picture of it here. It's much better, and they should have went with that. I don't know why they didn't use that design. I think personally it looks much better, and would just, I don't know, just give her a lot more personality than naked blue chick. Because, yeah. Also, there is a lot of really bad CGI in this film that has aged quite poorly. A lot more poorly than the X-Men films that come out previous. Which it should not be the case, but there you go. And Beast's costume, like his face, just looks weird. Looks absolutely bizarre. I was watching it thinking, wow, that's definitely a guy in a suit there. And of course I know it is anyway, but the mouth doesn't really move that well with the words, and it makes him look a bit boss-eyed and a bit peculiar, but that could just be me. Now, I was happy to see that they implemented Alex Summers, Scott Summers, Cyclops' older brother, Havoc. That was really cool. He's pretty good. He's in, obviously, this one and the next couple, although he's very, very minor in the next couple of films. But it was good to have him in this. And, of course, as we all know, Darwin gets absolutely shafted in this film. But I'll let you watch that one out for yourself. Overall, it's got some good action. It's got some good stuff, especially with Magneto and with his revenge. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender do an amazing job as Charles Xavier and as Magneto here. Eric Lancashire, the chemistry they have together is very, very good. January Jones is fine as Emma Frost, although her design as well is wank as all hell, making her completely look like one great big crystal. I prefer the design they had believe it or not, in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I believe that was meant to be Emma Frost there, where she turns her skin to diamonds. But I don't know why it changed her clothes to diamond too. That was a really odd design choice. And apart from the fact I think that Mystique is misplaced in this film, Jennifer Lawrence does do a good job, at least in a couple of these films. Of course, we know she kind of gave up halfway through her run in the series. But yeah, it's still worth a watch. I tend to look at it as a start of a separate timeline, like a parallel timeline, and then Days of Future Past brings together the original timeline and this parallel timeline. I don't look at it as one long continuity. I look at it as two alternate realities, basically, crossing over in Days of Future Past. And for me, it makes it a lot more palatable. But yeah, it is worth a watch. It's good, but it's not great. But please let me know in the comments down below what you think of X-Men First Class. And as always, thank you very much for watching.
They're just kids. No, they were kids. You ready for this? Let's find out.